Hello and welcome to day 12 of Vlogmas. Today I'm going to be grinding for Nook Miles and just kind of chatting mostly about some stuff that I wish was in the game that isn't. So nothing too exciting, but I hope you'll still stick around. I'm trying to space out the bigger builds that I have ideas for and not kind of have them one right after another. So we're just going to do something a little bit more laid back today. And I started the video here because I'm so excited about snow on the ground and the holly bushes here look so pretty. So my starting number here is 26,840 and I went for about an hour just to see how far I got. I don't really have a whole lot of tips and tricks that would be new to anybody for how to get Nook Miles quickly, other than do the Nook Miles Plus items, especially the ones that have multipliers. Kind of keep an eye on your main Nook Mile achievements too, in case you're close to any that you could knock out. But Ryan for the Win did a good video on it last year. He got 10,000 in an hour, and I think when you're really grinding, I got close to that number today, so I think when you're really grinding, 10,000 in an hour is definitely doable. So I'll link his video in the description. I don't know how much of me exposing myself with how bad I am at catching bugs and fish I'll leave in here, but enjoy. So one of the kind of hot topics and one of the things I thought I would chat about today are some of the things that I wish were in the game that aren't. And I feel like I have to kind of start with like my history with Animal Crossing before I get into that. Just so that you know, if you're listening to this and you're an Animal Crossing like lifetime fan, that I'm not. I have never played Animal Crossing before New Horizons. I think I've told this story before on here, but I don't really remember. But I actually borrowed my friend's Switch to get a Melton on Pokemon Go because there was a thing you could do with Pokemon Go if you had a Switch and you could get Meltons and blah blah blah. But he told me to check out Animal Crossing while I had it, and I was like, I might. So I did, and I loved it immediately. And he had a super basic island. He wasn't super into like extreme decorating or anything like that. And so I just kind of did my house and was decorating my house and mostly just diving. That's really all I like to do. And I was talking to my other friend who had Animal Crossing, and he kind of picked it up again when I started playing. And I was talking about what I was doing. He was talking about what he was doing, and I came to realize that the reason it was so sort of like easy and there wasn't a whole lot to it was because obviously my friend that I'd borrowed the Switch from had already completed like the whole game. So Abel's and Nook's Cranny were all there, and I could buy tools. I didn't have to craft them, and none of the like struggle and hardship from the beginning of the game was present because it was all kind of already done, and I was just sort of an extra account on the island. So once I figured that out, I really couldn't enjoy it anymore because I was like, oh my gosh, like this is not how this game is supposed to be played. I totally sidestepped like the whole story and like struggle of it all, and that didn't sit right with me. So I impulsively bought a Switch for myself so that I could play it from the beginning. So that's what I did. And Animal Crossing New Horizons is my very first Animal Crossing game. I didn't grow up with pretty much any like game consoles. We just like weren't a big game console family. So I never played any of the other ones. We didn't have a GameCube or anything. So this is my first one, and there are just so many things about this game that I absolutely love. I love how just like sweet and wholesome it is. Like in general, everything is just so cute. And on top of that, you know, you have these little like animal friends that love you. I mean, it's just it's honestly like the most precious thing. I know some people are like, I miss how aggressive like your villagers used to be to you, and I miss getting bullied by Rossetti and all this stuff. But like, I don't know that I would have liked that. I'm too sensitive for it. So I love how like mushy and wholesome this game is. Another thing I love is like the sounds of it. I think it's a gorgeous game visually, but the audio of this game is just like the most soothing, comforting thing. I am not really an ASMR person, so I've never really felt sort of comforted or soothed by sounds, but playing this game, it's just like the most satisfying thing to listen to, in my opinion. I don't really remember why I started talking about all that, other than before I say what I don't like about the game, I felt like I have to say what I like, because overall I love this game. Obviously, I've played it for over a year. I took a couple months break, obviously in the summer, where I just kind of got burnt out. But before that, I played every single day for, probably like 8 or 9 months, and loved like every minute of it, long after all my other friends who were playing Animal Crossing had like lost interest in it and quit. So some things that I do wish were in the game, I feel like the big one people always talk about is having a shopping cart in Nooks and Abel's, or at least being able to buy more than just 5 of something as the bulk option. And out of the 2 of those, obviously I think the shopping cart would be awesome, especially because I'm somebody who likes to have like a full catalog, so a lot of stuff I will buy just to have. So a shopping cart obviously would be like the best option, but I would definitely take like a bulk option that was more than just 5, especially for like customization kits. I'd love to be able to buy 10 at a time or even more. That would be ideal. People talk about a shopping cart feature kind of at the same time as bulk crafting, just as like 2 things that they don't understand why Nintendo hasn't put in the game. And what I've heard a lot, which I can't really speak to because again, I don't have a lot of Animal Crossing experience, is that they wouldn't put in something like bulk crafting, at least, because it kind of goes against the sort of basis of the game, this sort of slow-paced, real-time nature of the game. So I understand why they wouldn't do bulk crafting, and I don't really mind not being able to do bulk crafting. I rarely use fish bait. I think I used a bunch when I was looking for like 1 or 2 fish to complete my museum, but I don't use a lot of fish bait, and nothing else do I ever need to like craft a ton of. So I so far like haven't really needed the bulk crafting thing, so not really missing that. But I would love to have a shopping cart, or just more bulk options for buying from Leaf or customization kits. Going along with that, of course, another thing everyone always talks about is villager hunting, being able to either cut down the dialogue or go island to island. I do think that would be an extreme addition for them to do like an island hopping feature. And I understand why it wasn't there in the beginning, because I doubt Nintendo anticipated villager hunting to be such a thing. Maybe they did, maybe that was the intention, but I can't imagine that they thought people would be spending 800, 1200 tickets to find 1 villager. I think that is sort of the unhinged side of people that maybe they didn't anticipate. And I fully say that, like, having spent hundreds of tickets for Marlowe like just last week. So, I think it's possible that they didn't anticipate villager hunting was going to be such a thing. But when they found out that it was, I really wish it had been in the 2.0 update, that you could go island to island, especially since they added with the DLC that you can go from Harv's Island straight to work and vice versa. Clearly, they put in a feature where Wilbur could make decisions about where you were going, and you didn't need Orville to tippy-tap on his computer. In my opinion, they've created the precedent that Wilbur can make flight plans on his own, and because of that, I think we should be able to go straight to another Mystery Island from Mystery Island. One totally inconsequential thing that I wish they had, I wish you were able to hug your villagers as a reaction. I wish that so much, because I just want my villagers to know that I love them. I just need them to know, especially when they move out. I want to hug them so badly. And I also wish it was just a reaction you could use. If you're just standing close to a villager and you use the hug reaction, you could just hug them. And another thing I wish we had a reaction for is a cartwheel. Especially like when my island was flat, and anytime there's like a huge expanse of like open island, all I want to do is do a cartwheel on it. And I just want the game to let me do a cartwheel. That's all I want. Just kidding, it's not all I want. Here's some other things I want. I wish you could change the room sizes at Harv's. I understand why they don't let you change it in your house once you have the ability at Happy Home Paradise. Obviously, you can't just change the size of your house willy-nilly, but it would be cool if there was an option to talk to Tom Nook and like expand the individual rooms, but that would mean every time you wanted to do that, you'd have to talk to him, pay for it, potentially have the whole room emptied and put in your storage or something. But I feel like any of that could be done. Some things more than others, you can feel the sort of slow pace of the game that the creators are intending you to play at. And the dialogue's definitely one of them. And I love a lot of the dialogue. It's very cute. But some of the NPCs, like when they're saying the same thing every time, when you're doing like repeated actions with them, like repeatedly buying something from them or selling something to them, I really feel like they shouldn't have to say the exact same long drawn out thing every single time. Like, here's looking at you, Sahara. Anyways, I feel like that's kind of enough rambling. So I did spend 2,400 Nook Miles to get a plain party lights arch. What's it called? You know what I'm talking about. But the final number that I ended up with was 33,590. And taking into account the 2,400 that I spent, the total I made in the hour I was grinding is 9,150, which is pretty good. I was shooting for around 10,000 because of that Ryan for the Win video, so got pretty close. So I'm happy with that. So thank you for watching day 12 of Vlogmas. That's a video every day between now and Christmas. There are 11 other videos if you'd like to catch up, and if you don't want to miss the next one, you can subscribe. If you'd like to keep up with me elsewhere on the internet, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at PocketOfFish, and I will see you tomorrow.